We spend a lot of time talking about authorization in the context of humans or users. Can this user do this action, this resource? But there's another type of authorization that's becoming more commonplace thanks to things like zero trust architectures, which is service to service authorization. There are plenty of technology tools, frameworks, projects out there that help you issue identities to workloads. The Spiffy Spire work, for example, is a great way of issuing an identity to an individual microservice or function call inside of your architecture. But the next step we're now seeing is how you can then overlay authorization with that. So not only these services know who they are, they have an identity, they're acting, but also can service A call service B? And you can start off with very basic checks, okay? They're on the same domain, they're in the same network, they're on the same namespace inside of a cluster that they should be able to speak to each other. But you can now start bringing more fine-grained checks. So can service A call this particular method on service B with this particular payload or this particular context? And you can take a very policy-driven based approach to that to do this service authorization. The next frontier we're now seeing is also using the initiator's identity for authorization as well. So as a user, I'm calling some endpoint, which is being handled by service A. When service A calls service B, it goes, I'm service A, here's my identity, but also here's the user that is making the original request. And then it's down in service B, you can start making decisions and authorization checks based upon the upstream user that has made that particular call. And this is called like impersonation chaining as one term that's being used to kind of describe this, because service A is essentially impersonating user that's doing service B. And this pattern is only going to accelerate now as we're starting to see more AI agents coming into play where they're acting on behalf of an upstream user, and these systems are acting autonomously though. So they need to be able to know not only is it allowed to call another service, but is the original person that instructed this agent to do some action on their behalf allowed to do that particular action, because you want to make sure that your systems are secure and your data security rules are locked down and enforced regardless of whether it's a human doing an action or it's a service acting on behalf of another human or another identity to achieve some sort of goal. So service authorization is here to stay, and it's only going to get more detailed and more fine-grained across your architectures, and using a policy-based approach really is the best way of defining that and deploying that inside of your systems today.